You were never the biggest, never the strongest, but you had mouth and wheels. Trash talk came easy. It was like a second language. You didn't even think about it. It just rolled off your tongue, smooth as your back pedal. You were the kid who locked down the fast receiver in gym class, then stared him down the whole walk back to the huddle. They said you were cocky. You weren't. You just knew. Knew you could run with anybody. Knew your feet were different. Knew your hips didn't lie. They flipped like they were on hinges, while everyone else was 2 steps late. The moment you strapped up for real, you knew cornerback was your position. All the pressure, all the isolation, all eyes on you. Perfect. You didn't want help, didn't want zone. You wanted man coverage, press up, face to face. You wanted the other team's WR1. The golden boy with the highlight tape. That was your oxygen. The idea that he thought he could beat you. High school, you were a problem. You remember the one-handed pick that got posted on Max Preps? Ran it back 82 yards? You were 17, already acting like prime time. Jersey untucked, arms wide, eating it up. People started throwing out names. He's got that Ramsey energy. That boy got rev his feet. You heard it, you liked it, but you wanted to be it. College was war. Everybody was fast now, everybody was built. But you kept up, you learned leverage, studied film, figured out receiver tendencies like tells in a poker game. You'd sit in your dorm at 2 a.m. rewinding routes, watching Jalen Ramsey clown dudes at the line, watching Asante Samuel bait throws and jump him like he had cheat codes. You didn't chase picks, you chased respect. And you got it. You became the lockdown guy, the one the other team tried to avoid. And if they did throw your way, you let them know. Helmet tap, finger wag. Little grin they could see through the visor. Because you were him. Draft day came and your name got called. Maybe it wasn't first round. Maybe it wasn't even second. But you made it. You stepped onto that NFL field already plotting who you'd line up against first. They gave you the rook treatment? Sure. But you didn't care. First camp, you picked off the starting quarterback and made sure everybody saw it. You wanted the attention. You needed the target on your back. Being ignored was worse than getting beat. Because for a corner, relevance is survival. And you were born to talk. You can lock a man down for 3.5 quarters. You can erase his roots, jam him at the line, knock the ball loose on 3rd and short. None of that matters if you give up 6 in the 4th. You learned that fast. There's no glory in silence. If the receiver has 2 catches for 12 yards, nobody notices. But let him torch you for 1 deep ball. 1 slip, 1 stutter, 1 hesitation, and that clip lives forever. You're a meme by midnight. You've seen it happen. It's happened to you. That one time the safety was late, but they didn't care. That one time you tripped on the turf and the receiver hit the gritty in your face. ESPN doesn't show the context. Twitter doesn't care what coverage it was. You're just the number trailing behind the celebration. 1 play, that's all it takes to rewrite everything you built. Corners don't rotate, corners don't get pulled for a breather. You don't get subbed out when your confidence is shaken. You're stuck out there, alone, one-on-one with a man who wants to humiliate you. And 70,000 people waiting to see if he does. You try to stay calm, reset, but the ball keeps coming your way because quarterbacks smell doubt. They hear whispers from the sideline. They see your body language. If you give up one, they test you again, and again, and again, until you fold or fight back. You've had those games, the ones where your legs felt gone by the 3rd quarter, where every route felt like a blur, where you couldn't tell if you were slow or just scared, where the next snap felt like a setup. You'd look across the line at that wide receiver, flashy gloves, swagged out socks, grinning because he knows you're spiraling. And worst of all, the coaches don't say much, they just look away. Or they give you that dry next play tone. Like they're already thinking about benching you. The sideline doesn't want to sit next to you. The crowd starts booing. Even your teammates stop making eye contact. You're on an island, in every sense of the word. They call cornerback the most thankless job in football, and they're right. You're not celebrated, you're not protected, you're only noticed when you mess up. And when you do, 1 play is all it takes to erase everything. It doesn't happen all at once. That's the lie. They talk about falling off like it's some dramatic collapse. 1 bad game, 1 injury, 1 wrong route, but that's not how it goes. It's quieter, slower, almost unnoticeable, until it's not. First, it's your hips. They still flip, but not quite as fast. Then your recovery speed starts slipping. You lose a half step, maybe a full one. The kind of gap that didn't exist a year ago. The kind of gap a 4.3 receiver turns into 6 points. You tell yourself it's just fatigue. You'll bounce back. But the coaches start shifting their tone. Less he's a dog, more he's a veteran presence. Less man coverage, more zone schemes to protect your legs. They draft a rookie in the 3rd round. He runs a 4.38. Big frame, college highlight tape full of pick sixes. You hear it? He's got that lockdown energy. He's the future. And suddenly, you're the past. You're CB2, then CB3, then inactive on game day. You still show up to meetings early, still mentor the rookies, still lift, still run, still watch tape of yourself in your prime, just to remind yourself it was real, that you were him, that for a few years nobody wanted to throw your way. But the game moves on. Fast. You think about guys like Josh Norman, went from All-Pro to a punchline in 3 seasons. Or Stephon Gilmore, Defensive Player of the Year one year, then passed around like a journeyman. Even Darrelle Revis had to retire on someone else's team. Nobody stays on the island forever. You scroll through social and see fans say stuff like, he's washed. Like you don't train year-round. Like you didn't sacrifice your knees, your ankles, your Sundays. Like you didn't live in ice baths, play through high ankle sprains, get needled up just to survive a snap. You used to dominate. Now you're depth. And once you're labeled as losing a step, it's over. They won't give you a chance to prove them wrong. They'll just move on. The league doesn't wait for corners to age gracefully. It barely lets you age at all. You were elite. Now you're not. And there's no ceremony for that. You're still showing up, still running the drills, still keeping your body right, still shadowing receivers in practice just to prove you can. But no one's watching. No one's talking about your footwork or your instincts or the way you still mirror routes better than half the DB room. They're watching the rookie. They're hyping the new guy. You're a name now, a former starter, a depth piece, a mentor. They say that like it's a compliment. We love your leadership, man, but it's code. You know what it means. It means your snaps are gone. It means they don't expect you to make noise anymore. It means you've been quietly filed under used to be. And the locker room shifts when you hit that phase. Guys still dap you up, sure, but it's different. The energy changes. You're not in the group chats. You're not part of the post-game plans. You sit near your locker and realize the conversations have moved on. Different slang, different music, different priorities. You used to be them. Now you're the vet in the back corner with tape around both knees and silence in your ears. You try to speak up in meetings. You've got insight, years of game. But they nod like it's a TED Talk and go back to doing it their way. It's not disrespect, it's just detachment. You don't matter the way you used to. Then comes the worst part, the waiting. Waiting on a call. Waiting to see if you're getting re-signed. Waiting to see if anyone even remembers you're still training. You scroll Instagram and watch clips of young corners doing what you used to do. One-hand picks, gritty dances, overtime stops. You hit replay on those clips of yourself. Back when you had the juice, and when wide receivers were scared to line up across from you. Back when your name meant something, and then you look in the mirror. Still cut, still fast, still got heart, but the phone doesn't ring. The agents don't call. The league moved on without you. You go harder in training, get in and out of your breaks sharper than some of the guys still in the league. But it doesn't matter, because being good isn't enough anymore. You've got a birth date on your resume now, and that's the red flag no coach wants to talk about. You call your old position coach, just to talk. You bring up some film, ask for feedback. He's polite. He tells you, you still got it, man. For real. But his tone's off. You can feel it. That pause before he hangs up, like he knows something you won't admit yet. You go to a tryout. You kill the drills. Backpedal crisp, 40 still decent, technique still elite. But they're not looking for technique. They're looking for upside, for speed, for youth. So they go with the 22-year-old, and you go back home. People ask if you're retired. You laugh it off. Say you're waiting on the right opportunity. But inside, you wonder if that's code for never. You're not done. Your body still moves. Your mind's still sharp. But the game? It doesn't care what you think you have left. There's no closure, no ceremony, no final snap, just silence. And a locker room that moved on without you. Quarterbacks throw touchdowns, wide receivers make highlight reels, running backs truck defenders and dance in the end zone, and corners? Corners get blamed. That's the rule. That's the role. That's the reality. You can lock up a Pro Bowl receiver for 59 minutes and 12 seconds. No catches, no separation, pure clamps. But let him snag one, just one, in the last drive of the game, and guess what? That's the only clip that matters. That's the one the broadcast team circles. That's the one ESPN tweets. That's the one the fans remember. They don't care that the safety blew coverage. They don't care you slipped on turf soaked from pregame rain. They don't care the ball was placed perfectly. You're the corner. It's your number on screen. You're the scapegoat. Even when you win, you're invisible. Nobody says, wow, look how this corner shut everything down. They just praise the quarterback. Talk about how the offense looked off today, like you didn't spend the whole game suffocating their best receiver into irrelevance. You never get flowers for doing your job right, but you get hell for doing it wrong. You've played through torn ligaments, broken fingers, turf toe that turned into bone spurs. And still, all it takes is one bad snap and fans act like you never belonged. Look around the league. Darrelle Revis, one of the best ever, got cooked late in his career and suddenly they forgot the island. Josh Norman got postered once and became a joke. Even Richard Sherman, a Super Bowl champ and future Hall of Famer, got turned into a meme when Father Time caught up. No position erases your prime faster than cornerback. There's no gentle decline, no honorable fade out, just silence. You don't retire when you're ready, you retire when no one calls. When training camp comes and you're still refreshing your phone. When your name fades from the depth chart, from the locker, from the conversation, you gave it your all, you studied the film, you took the hits, you did the thankless job, and now you're just another what happened to in a podcast. You never got to be the hero. Because cornerbacks don't get stories, they get silence, and that's why it sucks to be one.